Hello everyone and welcome to a Hot Pocket. Woo! Welcome back everyone. How are you, Ed?
Oh, I'm fine. My pockets are warmth with excitement.
Your pockets are warmth.
Yeah, warmth. They're warmth. They're warmth. Keep that in. That's exactly what I said. And I meant to. I intended to say warmth with excitement.
Warmth with excitement. Happy 1st of February, everyone. And not only is it the first Hot Pocket in ages, but also it's the beginning of us releasing videos every Wednesday. So if you're watching this video and you like it or whatever, do subscribe because there's a good video every, a week from now exactly. There'll be a new one. If you're not watching on the 1st of February on the Wednesday, then it'll probably not be exactly a week, but soon enough there'll be a video coming out. Gaming, streams, chat, debate, all of that stuff at your whatsits. Enough marketing. Let's get into it, Ed. Let's kick off with a lovely little bit of news. Jeremy Renner got run over by a fucking snowplow. Go.
Exactly. I think it's only been revealed like a day or two ago from recording this that apparently he was actually trying to save his nephew as well. I have a little link here that's got a bit more information on it, but obviously he hasn't been in great condition. He was critical, but he seems to be in good spirits about it. Thank God for that. He was using his 6-ton piston bully snowplow to help his nephew free his car from the snow, but then it started to roll down a hill. And so, he unfortunately sustained injuries to his torso, his face, his extremities, and his head during the accident. He's been tweeting about it, I believe, and he's been keeping people updated on it. And people have been quite concerned, but he's taking it in high spirits, which is always a good thing.
Okay.
Wishing the gentleman all the best, because he definitely does seem one of the good guys in Hollywood, shall we say?
There's a lot of attempted to save his nephew, tried to save his nephew. I'm assuming the nephew's not mentioned and isn't mentioned to be in hospital, so I'm assuming his attempts were successful, or maybe the nephew managed to get himself out, or whatever happened. I'm really surprised to hear that it was a piston bully snowplow, because I saw pictures of a snowplow when this first happened, which was the beginning of the year, right at the beginning of the year. And I was surprised to find out that it was actually one of those snowplows, because there was pictures of those snowplows, like proper big ones that you would expect in Norway or in the Alps or something. And I thought, they've just put a picture of a massive snowplow for, news effect. No, it really was one of those. Wow. I mean, the fact that he's even got brain matter at this point is quite an achievement. So well done, Mr. Renner.
Yeah. I'm just reading it now, actually. Another report from Deputy Jonathan Miller. He said in an attempt to keep the piston bully from striking his nephew, Jeremy Renner, he attempted to step up on the track in order to divert the piston bully or get it stopped.
Okay, so it was...
Fucking hell.
Okay.
And then he got pulled under it.
I mean, it's a good Dream Theater song. But I probably wouldn't go for snowplowing like that.
I get that reference.
Thank you.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Okay, moving on into number 2, or the Last of Us series.
Yeah, as you've written it. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Last of Us
Kate
series.
fucking wrote that.
Did you ever play Last of Us?
I did. I played 2 hours of the first game.
Right.
I don't know why I didn't play more. I'm going to put it down to... it was on the PS3, which even though I did play a lot of games on the PS3, most of the games I played were couch co-op. I didn't really use it for solo playing that much. And when I did, I don't know, my computer was just always better and I was more comfortable with mouse and keyboard, blah, blah, blah. It just didn't track me like that. The other thing is, man, like, you can't help yourself. It's a very good game. From the 2 hours I played of it, it was really good. I could pick it up right now and probably enjoy it. But it's just another fucking zombie game, isn't it? Like, there's so many of them. As someone who really likes the Resident Evil franchise, I was like, okay, sure. Like, I've already done a lot of this sort of stuff. So I think that's why I didn't carry on with it. It's a personal thing. Calm down, everyone.
Well, I've not played it.
Okay.
I've watched the gameplay.
Okay.
How Do Cookie. Shout out twitch.tv/How Cookie.
Pretty sure he gets a shout out every time we go live or record anything.
Fucking hell. Yeah. But it's because we love him.
Yeah.
But he's played it, and you can tell that they've put a lot of not just attention to detail in it, but it's well casted.
Okay.
And it does have a natural feel to it. So it's interesting that they brought it to a TV series, because it already feels like it's done it well.
Yeah.
Apparently, I've heard mixed things, but mainly positive. I've not actually got around to watching it at all. It's interesting though.
Yeah. And likewise, I haven't either. Partially, I think, because I don't want to discover the storyline that way. Like everyone else at the moment is relating it to the game and really enjoying the adaptation of it. If it was just a series on its own, Walking Dead or anything like that, I don't know how much different it would be. I don't know. But I would love to play the game first and then watch the series. So maybe I should really start doing that. But
I'm in the same boat.
Okay. Well, maybe we could do it together, naked.
Lovely.
So, yeah, I mean, it's just one of these series that's popping off. I'm sure everyone watching has already at least heard about it, if not already watched and is up to date. Another thing, I will not watch something as it's released weekly. It's not fucking 1995. Stop it.
I kind of get you there. I do. I'm terrible for binge watching. I do miss the fact that it's annoying. We've got used to being able to binge now.
Yeah.
It was nice to be able to talk about it and like go to work or something, and then talk to people about the program, and then discuss it and speculate on what's going to happen. But yeah, you don't really get that anymore. Now you kind of like get people talking about it at work, and you go, I haven't watched all of the episodes yet. Yeah.
Actually, whilst we're on this subject of watching stuff, have you seen or heard of Kaleidoscope on Netflix?
I've heard of it, but not a great deal.
Okay, good. Don't worry, everyone. No spoilers. I've only watched one episode. Now, this enthralled me. Mm-hmm. And I stopped watching it because at the time, Kate and I were bimbling about and doing other stuff or on our phones, and we were like, look, this is actually something we need to pay attention to. So let's come back to this when we're ready to sink into something. But the whole thing is about a bank robbery, right? And each episode is a colour. The first episode is called Black, and the last episode is called White, I believe. But all the episodes in the middle are different, as in a different order for every Netflix user.
Really?
So that's really cool, isn't it?
That's quite experimental. I like that.
Yeah. So that means, like, for instance, if you and I were halfway through the series, we still wouldn't be able to talk about it yet because you wouldn't know what you had seen or not.
So I'm taking it's like it's like story blocks and
exactly.
Jigsaw stuff. It's like Pulp Fiction on shuffle.
Yeah.
That's quite cool.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool thing. Yeah. Also came out the 1st of January, so it's relevant to this January news.
I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna fucking watch that. That sounds pretty fucking good.
When do you watch it? Don't fucking tell me because I don't know. Right.
I'll have to write down the order as well so we can compare orders.
Yeah. I wrote down here steroid use in celebrities. Now, this might come down as a bit weird to people. I don't know where this conversation's even going to go. So I'm going to start off with the sentence, I heard this on a Joe Rogan podcast.
Oh dear, Michael.
But it was backed up by science. And that is that celebrities like The Rock, Dave Bautista, these actors that we know them now, the massive ones, literally couldn't be that big without steroids, apparently. It's impossible for them to have that sort of physique. You might remember, probably not remember, but maybe you saw Killer Sally on Netflix?
No.
She was a bodybuilder, blah, blah, blah. She was in the 80s, bodybuilder, and was going up the ranks. And there was a moment in the series, and indeed in the competition of bodybuilding, where they removed steroids and said, look, you're not allowed to use these drugs anymore because they're performance-enhancing drugs. And when they did that, everyone like just completely wasn't massive anymore. They were all just like, they looked like really athletic people and definitely more muscular than your average person, but they weren't this amazing monolith, you know, that people had gotten used to. So they actually reintroduced drugs and steroid use back into it in the end. But that also backs up this sort of thing. So, I mean, I know Dwayne The Rock Johnson is adamant that he doesn't use steroids.
And apparently he's called out Chris Hemsworth as well. I'm calling bullshit on this. I fucking hate Joe Rogan. Absolutely hate the prick.
My point is, and you know what, I when he comes to talk about UFOs and space and all this other shit, it can really get out of hand quite quickly. But this seems a little bit sciencey to me, right? It seems like, okay, sure. And Arnold Schwarzenegger has also said, oh no, they're all totally using steroids. Like, they could never be that big without steroids. That's insane.
Okay, fair enough. If you say so. I just think
sorry,
it's full of
just,
shit,
just to 100% clarify before this video gets removed from YouTube because of misinformation.
Oh, fucking hell.
We can't talk about it. But this is all speculation. As I said, I heard it on Joe.
It's purely speculation. It's based upon something someone else said, and Mike has every right to talk about it because we believe in free speech. Doesn't mean we agree with this person, but
no,
or we we'll never always agree with each other.
No,
but that's a debate. That's what a debate is.
Right.
He's a fucking knob, though, isn't he?
Is he a knob? I don't know, man.
I think he's a knob.
What do you think's snobbish about him?
He's just up his own fucking arse all the time. I know
what you mean, man. But he still goes on like his friends' smaller podcasts and everything. And
I know, but he uses his platform to spout things that are not guaranteed fact. There are people, unfortunately, you have listeners out there who are narrow-minded to research for themselves, and
they'll just take it as gospel.
And they'll take it as gospel. I mean, like, you've just spoken about it, but you've probably looked it up afterwards and read into it.
I did,
which is great, but unfortunately, there's not enough people out there, and that's the problem. When you have a celebrity status, you've got to realise that you have to set an example.
Yeah, I guess,
and I don't think he does.
It would have, and you know what? He may have even set it up this way, but I don't think he did. But he could have said, "Look, I'm not saying this is true or not, but I noticed that a lot of these bigger actors are actually very big, and I believe them to be taking steroids because of blah blah blah." But he didn't. He just came out and said, "They definitely are. Totally are. Come on, don't be stupid.
Yeah.
Of course they are." Right, There we go, everyone. Lovely. Leave a comment down below. Do you think they're definitely taking steroids? 100%? Of course they are. Maybe they're not.
Also, Joe Rogan, if you want to pop along and...
Yeah. Actually, it might be better if we do something on your platform. If it's a yes, I'll get a loan out and we're going to LA. All right?
I love your curries, by the way. Him and his mate Josh, they make curries. You'll get there in a minute.
No, I'm fucking there, man. I'm there.
Good.
I'm fat. Of course I know what a fucking... Ed, Stadia me happy.
Oh, Stadia. Stadia's gone, dude. Stadia has gone.
Oh, no, Sonami. Mike holds up a Stadia controller on camera. Oh, no, Sonami.
Yes. I can't remember. What do you remember? What I got it through? It was some offer, and I told you how to get it as well. Was it through Spotify? I can't remember.
Yeah, it might have been. No, it was
YouTube Premium.
YouTube. Yeah,
YouTube Premium. So they offered like the Chromecast 4K and a Stadia controller. I wanted it just for the 4K, really.
Yeah.
But I did use Stadia for a bit. I actually purchased one game on Stadia.
Because when you what was it? When you put in £5, they give you a free £10 or something.
Yeah.
So you had £15 credit total. I bought a game. I think I bought The Crew or The Crew 2, a driving game. It was horrible.
I bought Trials Uprising. Was that the latest Trials? Because I used to like Trials.
Yeah, I used to. Yeah, I fucking love that too. Well, we should totally look out for them when they're on offer on Steam.
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, Uprising's not great, I've got to be honest.
There's a bit too much. The simpler ones were better.
Yeah, Uprising is trying to be a bit more real. But anyway, I played it, and honestly, I had no problems with the controller. I had no problem with latency at all. But I think the problem is, as everyone said, it's the library, because I guess because Xbox were trying to do their own thing, Nvidia were trying to do their own thing, and they can get their labels, I guess, their publishers. So they weren't really left with a lot. And yeah, it was just a forgettable thing, really. It's good that they tried it. The one thing people were wondering is about controller support. What's going to happen with these controllers? Are they going to be they're going to become landfill? So Google they did release a firmware update to allow Bluetooth support, which I find fucking ridiculous, really. It's like, you mean there was Bluetooth in this all along and you never fucking used it? Because that would have been an incentive to go, you get the controller, but you can also use it on PC, blah 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 blah. But I mean, the controller, I was looking forward to it because I quite like the feel of the controller. But it doesn't support, when it's on Bluetooth, it doesn't support vibrate. It only does it when it's wired. Yeah,
okay.
If you play a game wired on Steam or something with a Stadia controller, you get vibrate. If you play it on Bluetooth, it doesn't have it.
Right.
But it's not all completely gone. I mean, if you've bought a Stadia and you're a retro gamer or something, you set it up with RetroArch, then you're sorted.
What's that? Sorry, the Chromecast?
No, the Stadia controller. So just a suggestion. It would be good, like if you've got like you're doing a little gaming setup project with a Raspberry Pi, RetroArch, something like that. It will be of use, and it's definitely not just landfill.
No. It's a good controller. It's a really comfortable controller. My experience is, I said I played the Crew 2 and it was shit. Not latency, nothing like that. I wanted to test it out to see what the quality was like. I found their marketing very misleading with regards to 4K 60, sort of the way that that's interpreted by the user. The resolution might be 4K and it might run at 60 frames most of the time, but the amount of visual artifacts, like we were talking about, we'll be talking about in a future hot topic,
compression
artifacts, yes, and those were paramount in my playing. It just looked, because of course in the Crew, well, in any racing game, there's quite a bit of sky right above the car, and it's taken ages for the algorithm to work out when's a cloud coming up, and like when you do a jump, okay, shit, now there's no sky, it's all road, and it was just not the best. Anyway, my main issue with the game is that it was quite unplayable, because in that game you change between a car into a plane into a boat, and the controls they were fucked. Like properly, like you had to I can't remember the exact control combinations, but you just got to believe me, it was horrible. With no configuration, like a console, they didn't allow you to reconfigure the buttons at all, so you just had to live with it. And I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to go upstairs and play a better game on my computer, or at least a better set up game on my computer. The one good use case that I thought, because it was a question that I asked myself and many others asked themselves, why should I do this instead of buying a local console, especially when really, I mean, even spending 300 to 500 quid on a console, if you're a gamer, that's not the end of the world, right? You could even finance one of those. I mean, people pay double that for a mobile phone every year. So half of that for a console that you're going to spend hours playing and it's going to bring you so much joy really isn't the biggest expenditure. But my colleague that I used to work with was actually Australian, and he had to go back to Australia and come back relatively frequently. He wanted to get back into gaming again and was asking me what I thought the best system would be for him, because he didn't want to buy a big PlayStation PC or anything like that, because he didn't want to obviously try and get that back to Australia when he moved back to Australia. It would cost so much money to transport the thing back. So in this circumstance, he can go on his phone, his TV or whatever, cast Stadia to it, wherever country he is in, with no shipping costs really, well, apart from the controller. And I was a bit annoyed with myself that was my solution. He could have had a laptop or something like that, but he's a businessman. You know, he is a relatively older businessman who used this in conference rooms. You don't want an RGB Legion laptop in front of you glowing like a bloody briefcase in Pulp Fiction. Second Pulp Fiction reference. So it was, and if you get like a laptop that's modest looking but does have a dedicated GPU, it usually thermal throttles pretty okay, like pretty early on. Sorry, so to get. Anyway, for me, that was like, okay, actually, this is a good use case for Google Stadia, right? Anyway, he didn't fucking buy it. He didn't play games at all. But yeah,
bro.
Thank you. Stadia's gone. It ended. By the way, that's the reason why we're fucking talking about it. It's finished. Done. Make sure you update your controllers before they remove that update.
They're carrying on throughout the year.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, until 2024. Yeah. Did you watch a show called The Traitors, Ed? It was out in January. No, I haven't. I don't think I watched much BBC stuff in January. I haven't got a TV license. The article literally says, Kate wrote it, The Traitors, big January BBC show, in brackets, apparently amazing. We haven't watched it, but Ed might have.
Oh, right. I've not watched it. Should we? It's apparently amazing. I'm going to Google this quickly.
Yeah, you have a look. I haven't got a television license, so.
Oh my fucking God. What? It's a reality show hosted by Claudia Winkleman.
Right. I mean,
not Winkleman.
I do like Claudia Winkleman.
Get them before they get you. 22 strangers, one castle, 120k. Claudia Winkleman hosts the ultimate reality game of trust and treachery. Is it a bit like? It sounds like a murder mystery type thing. I might give it a go. Actually, I might actually give it a go.
Good. Listener, you should give it a go too. I'm not. I don't have a television license. I'm going to download it illegally. No, I'm not. I'm joking. Oh, don't come for me. Right.
What we're saying is don't download illegally. Piracy is bad.
Support the creators, even if they are, paedophilic supporters. Right.
What?
The BBC.
What the fuck was that? What?
The BBC.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. I get it now. Yeah.
Not Claudia Winkleman. She's lovely. Right.
This is going great.
I'm just thinking in my head, probably going to cut all this out.
Yeah.
What a fucking shit show. Hogwarts Legacy, Ed.
Oh, fuck, it gets better.
So, let's get this out in the air. I've pre-ordered the game. Do you hate me? Probably. I mean, the way I just said, do you hate me, is enough alone for you to hate me now.
No, it depends on your ethical viewpoint. You will probably be thinking that there are people out there who like Harry Potter. They want to, they want to develop and write a game. I know that she who must not be named, J.K. Rowling. I know that she. I like the way I had to say it, J.K. Rowling, a fucking partridge moment there. But I know that she's had no creative input in it. And you'll be there going, you like Harry Potter. That was proper. That was proper. You probably grew up with it, I would have thought.
I did, yes.
Yeah. And so it's part of your childhood and you want to be immersed in that experience. Unfortunately, she holds the rights to it. So, yes, she will get a cut of the sales.
She will.
And lots of people are boycotting it for that reason because they don't like her viewpoint on certain people's rights, let's be honest. I don't think I'd get it. I don't want to, but I can understand why you would want to, and I wouldn't judge you for that reason. It is annoying that there are probably people out there listening to this going, I can't believe Mike's pre-ordered that fucking game after what that cunt said, etc. If you want to play it. You know what baggage comes with that. And if you're fine with it, you're fine with it. I don't think people should take, judge who you are based upon a game you want to play. There are people out there who probably still watch Roman Polanski films, for fuck's sake. So,
the thing, my point of view, is that everyone's evil. Was that an Irish
I
drink?
get that. Is that an Irish drink? No, this is from Fago. It's a.
I thought it was Tater.
No, Tato drinks. It's a red cola drink, and it's from Michigan, courtesy of Christine, Graham Chapman's mum, who sent Flora and I some American treats.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I think everyone's evil, right? If we were to avoid everyone who's ever said or had anything to do or had fingers in any project ever, I don't think there would be many games, music, or anything left. People are fucking stupid sometimes, not keeping their mouths closed when they should be, not thinking about the fact that actually you hold, rather like we were just saying with Joe Rogan, really, you have such power as an influencer that you really need to be careful what you say. And even if you do think or feel some ways, maybe actually you just fucking shouldn't say it because you're going to influence millions of people.
It's like that famous Spider-Man quote, isn't it?
Spider-Man?
Yeah, go Web, go! No, sorry, with great power comes great responsibility. You could go back, though. Look at Ren and Stimpy. So, John Cage, who created Ren and Stimpy, he's been known for abuse and such. Well, not abuse. What's the word? Basically being very inappropriate. Let's just say that sexual assault.
Right.
And they still show Ren and Stimpy on Nickelodeon to this day.
Yeah.
I think they actually rebooted it, but I know he's got no creative control over it. I don't think he even owns the rights to it anymore. But it's still keeping that going. Earthworm Jim. Earthworm Jim. Because people like what they created, you have to judge on where that line is. And I've made my opinion on where that line is. I don't want to play it, like Hogwarts Legacy. But you've decided where your line is, and you feel it's okay to do that because it's part of your childhood, and you shouldn't be knocked for that.
Oh, well, actually, I am opening it up to, and I do appreciate you giving me an out there, Ed. But I am saying, actually, generally, like things like even fucking Graham Linehan, like fucking so many series that he's put together that have been some of the best, and I will fucking watch I'm Alan Partridge till the fucking cows come home.
Father Ted for me.
Yeah, and I think if you were to look back at some of your favorite, you're watching this now and you're thinking, oh shit, that game I like, the Resident Evil franchise or whatever, whatever it might be. I bet you, if you were to look at every single developer, artist, and designer that worked on that game that has fingers in that pie, if you're telling me that every one of those people hasn't done something wrong, whether it be saying something on the internet that they're regretful of, or obviously much worse things, man, if you were to trim everyone down, you're going to have such a small list of things to do with your life. I'm not saying that makes them okay and that they should just carry on and do whatever they want. And those guys need to be, or guys and girls need to be called out, and they do need to be reprimanded for what they've said and either apologize, stop, go to jail, whatever it is that they've done. But I don't think that should harm the creation that a group of people have worked together. Don't forget, Graham Linehan invented all these beautiful series that we know and love, but so many other writers, creative direction, and characters go into those, and it's the sum of those parts that make games, music, and movies and series or whatever it is that we like. Full stop.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. What I want to end this with, though, is there are many of you out there who like Harry Potter or grew up with Harry Potter, and they would like to know what the game is like, but they don't want to buy it. Well, you have the right opportunity here because Mike's hit the bullet for you. He's bought the game and he's going to stream it. So you can watch it and you don't have to pay a penny towards her.
Not only that, I'm going to be streaming it. I'm going to be streaming it 6 days after this comes out.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be streaming it on the 7th of February, which is actually 3 days before it comes out, because I got a super early pass and it releases 72 hours before the release date of the game. So
Mike actually spoke to me about this and said, "Look, I'm going to buy the game. I want to stream it." And he did ask me. He asked me. He said, "Are you all right if I stream this?" Because he knows I'm funny with this shit. And I'm like, Mike, it's your channel too. You do what you want. So I'm not. I sound like I'm clearing myself out of this. Going, I've got nothing to do with this. It's all Mike's idea.
I'm hands off. I'm hands off.
It's. I don't care. Whatever.
Basically, on the 7th and 8th of February, I'm going to be doing marathon streams of this game. I'm thinking 12 hours a day. We'll see. It depends. I mean, the game could be fucking shit. I hope it's not. But there you go, everyone. There's my plug. We're moving on. Okay, we're really getting serious now. Alec Baldwin has been actually convicted of manslaughter now.
I hate this.
Yeah, me too, man. And I hope we have a good little debate about it. So apparently, it's because not only was he the actor, but he was also the director of the film that he was producing. And because of that, the director is in charge of all of the goings-on and is basically the boss of the machine that is a production. And that means because he wasn't in charge of the gun or the props guy or whatever, then he was not doing his job properly, and that's why he's been reprimanded for that. What say you, Ed?
Honestly, and this is going to sound awful, but there are people that are trained to do this. It's a task that people have to do in film, and they are trained and qualified to do this. Alec Baldwin is not trained and qualified to do this. He has basically said, okay, you have the experience, you have the necessary guidelines there, you know that, so I don't have to. Otherwise, Alec Baldwin would be doing it himself. The guy must be horrified after what happened, and I think it's unfair. He should not be, if it's gross negligence, I don't know, but I'm assuming that's what it's down to. I can see where they're coming from, but it doesn't feel right. It feels like there's someone there who has the expertise, and he's the person that is paid to do that safely. And yeah, it's a shame. It is. I wouldn't like to be him. And everyone's going, "Oh, it's right. He got loads of money." He killed a person. He's going to be with him for the rest of his fucking life.
Yeah. I'm my feelings are with you. I think it's very similar. I think, yeah, if the trolley boy at Asda was to ram a trolley into your car on purpose and cause significant damage, the airbags went off, so then all the interior's dead, and that means you need a new interior, and that outcosts the warrant of the vehicle repair. Who gets in trouble then? Would it be it would be Asda that paid for the car, right?
Yeah, they would have paid for the car, but yeah, the guy probably would have been.
He would have been fired, yeah. And as is this guy, I'm sure.
I'm not. Yeah, he's still working. I just feel that the responsibility's there. It's like, you don't expect a director to know how to. I don't know. Let's say he's not going to sit down, and this is completely irrelevant to the fact this is someone's life, but he's not going to go there and start like creating and rendering the CGI. He's not going to be there adjusting, the sound, so it's optimal for the scene. The cameras. You have a cinematographer for that. I mean, cinematographers are completely underrated in most films anyway. They do more than a director visually, as far as I'm concerned. But I'm going off piste. The point is, there are people who have responsibilities. He chooses them based on their responsibilities and qualifications, and these people should be accountable for what they have control over. Yes, I'm sure he should be made accountable for it, but he shouldn't be charged from. Yeah, it's just wrong. There's something seriously not quite right there.
Yeah. I'm with you.
It's all awful. Maybe we should just stop fucking using guns. Are we at an age now where we can say, you know what, we can do that in post? Make it safer. Think about that.
I think like the problem is, I am, just to clarify, I'm with you with regards to the director and production team hire a group of people, a props guy in this circumstance, a firearms expert maybe, because that's what their specialist is. That's what their specialist is. Their speciality is. So, you know, it might be, well, you just said about camera people, right? Like, so you're a director and you hire a camera operator or a cinematographer to come and film. Why have you done that? Because you don't know how to do it. Because they're better at it than you are. Because they know the gear to get for the particular scene, what the lighting should look like and everything. And actually, as a director, you're looking at the framing, making sure the timings all happen together. But
what if I hired an electrician to come and fit a light switch in my house? And you know, it's metal, it's not earthed properly or something. You turned up at my house, you flicked that light switch, you got electric shock, you died.
Okay, so in this scenario though, Ed, you're saying that as a customer, at which point you're saying that the viewer
he is effectively
the customer of the film is the viewer, so that means we're all going to jail.
They outsource things and stuff like that. I honestly, after you talking about it, I feel that this is the production company covering their asses because they have liability for the people that they hire. They've got to sign it off, and they have they're terrified and they're pointing it. They're putting all the lawyers at Baldwin. That's
it might. They're definitely making an example. In fact, I think there has been something said that actually normally this sort of thing just sort of goes away or gets swept under the carpet. But the judge apparently was particularly harsh on him because of this circumstance and because they wanted to make people know that actually things like this need to be very important. You can't just get away with it, obviously, because things like this happen. I will, however, finish this off by saying I can't find any information regarding any of the other production team, staff members, gun specialists, or props guys getting in trouble or getting in trouble. Naughty.
Yeah, no.
Or, you know, it might be that those guys are already on death row, but the news is all focusing on Alec Baldwin right now.
We're basing it upon what we see, like on top level headlines.
But I mean, I've been looking, but you know, there's only so much you can find out.
Yeah, we're not news persons. We're
not news agents.
We're just two blokes with fuck all else to do than talk about crap.
Yeah, we spent too much money on microphones, and this is how we justify it.
We want to use the equipment.
Don't take our video down YouTube. Right. Moving on to things. Hilaria Baldwin, aka Alec Baldwin's wife, has a fake Spanish accent. Now, Kate told me about this earlier, and I was almost in disbelief, and then I looked into it. I put a little link there, a YouTube link for you, Ed, and I will dub that over for viewers and listeners as well.
Tomatoes. We have, how do you say anything? Cucumbers.
It's not easy, and I think part of it is that I'm in shape before I have a baby, and then I stay active when I'm pregnant, and I'm not trying to stay thin, I'm just trying to keep my circulation going.
What the fuck?
Okay.
I'm reading Wikipedia whilst listening to this, and she moved to Spain in 2011.
So she was born in Boston. She went to school in New York. She's been married to Alec Baldwin since 2012. And because obviously this has been pulled up. If you're on like TikTok or even YouTube Shorts or anything for any amount of time, you're going to see videos like this pop up where she's talking in a perfectly fine American accent and then suddenly she's Spanish. And then here she is preparing a cucumber and she forgets what the English word for cucumber is. And it's like, she's putting this on, but also her statement in this says that it's because she's bilingual. And she genuinely sometimes gets sort of lost in translation between them. I don't.
Yeah, she said she claims she was raised in a Spanish-speaking household and she travelled to Spain annually.
But the thing is, the problem with that is when she's talking American, she's just like every other American, right? There's no weirdness, accent, or anything going on. Like Nico Rosberg has an accent as someone who's been flying around the fucking world for so long now as a Formula One driver, but that doesn't mean he doesn't still have a German twang to him. It's not, and he speaks very good English, but also, you know,
it's backwards. It's backwards. So most people say, would say, you know, if you've moved away from a country, you start to slowly adopt without even noticing the dialect around you. But then if you go back home, then suddenly it comes out stronger. But the way she's doing it backwards, you'd expect her to be more American, but occasionally slip into a bit of Spanish.
Yeah,
but it's the fucking other way around. It's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I think part of me, think because her name's also Hillary, but she calls herself Hilaria.
Yeah,
it's like Milaria, but slightly different.
Hilaria,
Hilaria Carey. My take is that she's trying without. I think she really wants to be the Spanish person, but has too much American in her.
Possibly she's trying. She wants to be part of her heritage, maybe.
Yet again, very, very speculative. No facts involved. Do your own research and all that. That's just what I'm getting from this whole experience, is that she's an American woman who really wants to be Spanish, whether that's her heritage and roots and country she's lived in for a long time or not. Sometimes, I guess, if you're going onto a American talk show, then you'd probably think, okay, these guys are all American, so I'm going to appear to be a local. If I'm a Spanish person, then maybe they might not understand me as much, or maybe, in some parts of America, they simply might not even like you that much if you are a foreigner. So maybe it would make sense to put on your American accent at that point. But I don't know, man. It's so hard to judge. And maybe we should just let it crack on.
Apparently this has been going on since around 2020, this thing. So, she's been accused on Twitter, great place, of impersonating a Spanish person, and posted stuff like, and they mentioned the whole cucumber thing. And, there's lots of questioning about cultural appropriation, really. But, you can't judge. I just find it fucking weird. I find it very backwards in the way that the dialect, the accent slips. It's the complete opposite way around, I'd expect.
Yeah.
But there we go. Who knows? But that's an interesting thing.
Isn't it an interesting thing?
Yeah.
What else is interesting is a Dead Space remake. Have you played it, Ed?
No, I haven't. Has it just come out? Apparently, it's quite resource hungry from what I've read. If you want to play it on 4K, apparently, like the latest RTX 40 series, they struggle with the fucking game.
Oh, really?
That's all I know. Yeah.
Is that because it's such a beautiful game, or because it's been optimized so terribly? That's the thing.
No, it's just because it's just such a beautiful game. Obviously you've got the DLSS technology. Apparently, DLSS 4 is a bit. Yeah. It's just a bit downscaly. It doesn't look great from what I've heard. But if you've got that on, it'd run fine. But if you actually want to see it's all its pretty glory, you ain't going to get it in 4K.
Okay.
That's what I read.
I think this game, I haven't played it and I haven't played the original. I watched the original being played back in the day and it did seem pretty cool. Too scary for Michael, just to be clear. I don't think I could happily play this game without shitting myself and doing it in half-hour intervals. But I think this game, rather than going for the full 4K res, I would say OLED would probably be so good on this game, because it's so dark and gloomy. Those really deep blacks would accentuate that color palette, and actually I think that would be better.
You've actually made me want to go back to Alien Isolation now.
That was a good game too, huh? No, I don't own that game, sorry. I own a different one, the Firefighters one, Fireteam Elite.
Oh, that one. No, I know which. I haven't played that one. I'd like to, but no. Anyway, no, Dead Space, not played it. I've seen bits of because didn't they went off to like the PUBG developers and they did Callisto Protocol, I think.
Yes.
Which does look nice, but apparently is a bit janky.
Oh, really? Because that's supposed to be a spiritual successor, is it not?
It's just, it's just weird. When they developed it, the idea is the publisher, they wanted it to be in the PUBG universe. I don't know how the fuck that works, but they want it to be like a space horror game, but set in the same universe as fucking PlayerUnknown Battleground.
So they're just killing or enemies with frying pans or something?
Not a fucking clue, but it didn't work, and so it was just a spiritual successor.
Okay, and we are finishing up the media section with some tragedies. There's a few times in which a celebrity death really stops me in my tracks, puts me a downer on my day or whatever like that. You know, Robin Williams was absolutely tragic for me.
Same year as Rick Mail. Fucking killed me,
Rick Mail. Yes. Musicians as well. Jack Bruce, Dio. There's quite a lot of them where you stop for a moment. And indeed, this year, first thing, what happened? Ken Block died in a snowmobile accident whilst he was on holiday with his family. And it's so weird, man. So weird to have someone that spent his whole life just absolutely destroying tires, doing things so mental in cars, and then he gets taken down while having a leisurely drive out on his snowmobile with his family. There's definitely something wrong there,
It even shocked me a bit, and I'm not much of a car guy, but I've always respected what he can fucking do.
You may not necessarily have listened to much of Jeff Beck's music, but I guarantee you the people's music that you listen to definitely listened to Jeff Beck's music. Very, very influential guitar player. When I listen to him, it very much reminds me of that Richie Blackmore sort of weird, bendy, sort of half tremolo sort of guitar playing. Something really hard to recreate that very few people can. And even when they can, they can't do it as good. So do Jeff Beck a favour and maybe pop some on next time you're at work or whatever it is that you're doing, because you can't go wrong, man. You can't go wrong.
I remember when Loudhailer came out, and the beginning of that, I think it was The Revolution would be televised, the first track of that. I just used to listen to that in the car all the fucking time.
Oh, right.
It just sounded so fucking good.
There was one live gig he did, Jeff Beck. It was in London, Jeff Beck live. My dad and I used to watch it all the time. I can't remember what the fucking place is called. It's like a famous venue in America. I know someone listening is already shouting it at their screen or whatever. Ronnie Scott's. Live at Ronnie Scott's. It's a lovely little club. The kind, in The Mask, the film The Mask, where they sit down and they've got those little tables with the lamps on.
Oh, no, yeah.
Oh, my God, I'd love to go there. But I should imagine such an intimate gig will probably be expensive no matter what act you go to see. But that Jeff, it's on YouTube. You can watch it all. Jeff Beck live at the Ronnie Scott's. I suggest you give that a little watch. Those are the two that struck me this month, and both really fucking early on as well, man. I hope that's it for the year now, and we can keep everyone intact. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the news. That's it. We've done the media. Well done. Episode 1, we are approximately 55 minutes in. We start off with Meghan Markle. I put in brackets, book TV show Clarkson. Sorry, Meghan Markle / Harry, book TV show Clarkson. Harry released a book. They had a TV show where they referred to each other as H&M. Not a brand deal, I'm sure. And Clarkson...
I'm fucking hell.
And Clarkson, Jeremy Clarkson, wrote a column about Meghan Markle in which he said she should be strolled naked through the city and people throw shit at her.
Oh, that's right. The Game of Thrones shame and all that stuff. Yeah. Okay,
I mean, just to clarify before we kick off, I have absolutely no care positive or negative, for Meghan and Harry. I appreciate Harry for being part of the royal family, and I do like the royal family more than just as an amusement park for tourists. I do like the whole history of the country as a very patriotic Englishman. I don't care who he marries, what colour she is or anything. I'm sure they have a lovely relationship. It is weird to me that they said we're going to not be in the royal family because we don't want to be in the spotlight all the time, but then also make a book and a TV show. It's weird, but people change their minds. Let them to it, it's fine. It's okay. Chill out, guys. And even though I am a massive super fan of Jeremy Clarkson, I do think he was fucking really stupid when he fucking wrote that. And I think many people do, and that's why because Jeremy Clarkson, let me tell you, doesn't normally retract or say sorry for things that he says unless he knows he's actually done something wrong. Especially, I think actually James May was trending today because he was on the Radio 4 today where they questioned him about it, and he said, yeah, that was stupid, and even said it was creepy. So when your mates and fans are saying that was probably, it's one of those things, isn't it, Ed? It's like we were talking about cancel culture and comedy. It's like if you don't like South Park and you find it offensive, you don't watch South Park. So if you don't like Meghan, whether it's the relationship with her affiliation with the royal family, her acting, whatever it is, then just don't do it. That's what I do. I mean, I don't dislike her actively. I just don't care. It's not on my radar, So, Edward, as a royalist,
yeah,
how are you doing? What do you think?
I fucking hate the monarchy. There we are. I think it's, as you said, it's a nice, rich part of history, and you're right. You are right. It should be fucking history. It's outdated. It's fucking disgusting. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure, I think that, yeah, Queen Elizabeth did a fair bit for the country, but then also, there's a couple of bits, but I mean, look at the fucking state of them. I mean, one of their son, they're trying to cover it with thousands of dollars of, well, you know where I'm going with that. Millions probably. But it's just, there's shit there that we don't see. And the reason is because it's supposed to be an ideology. That's what they represent. They represent something to look up to, an ideology, and it's just fucking wrong. And then we have a head of state assigned to us by birthright. How fucking outdated is that? If you really think about it, it does sound like something from Game of Thrones, that bit.
Sorry, what did you say then?
A head of state who is who is assigned by birthright. We don't elect them. We don't have a presidency.
Okay. So the king, should I say, is a dictator?
Well, not completely, no, because we do have a government, but he still does have a say over our country, and that I just think is ridiculous. And now the problem is because of the importance of it, a lot of it is most likely hidden, and the fact that you have someone like Harry and Meghan talking about it, and as much as people go, oh yeah, Meghan's probably pulling all the strings trying to get the money, that's because that's people making noise and making assumptions. But also the other side, if you believe what they say, it could be assumptions. It's not the way to deal with a situation. But if anything, I think, don't take anything as gospel from it. It's a fucking book. It's on a fucking Netflix fucking documentary, for crying out loud. It's not exactly going to be completely factual. It's going to be directed and edited pretty well to try and pull whatever they can to make money, which is not right at all. But you got to question what kind of. I think it's just time we fucking move on, personally. There's quite a disagreement in this house, actually, because Flora, like you, she's a royalist. She knows quite a lot about the history of the royal family and such. But I don't like it. And I can probably believe that, as you said, they have their people in the media who are trying to portray them as baddies. But that's because that's what people want to believe. People want to believe that it's full of shit. Either way, I'm sure the book's shit, the program's shit. They're all just people, and they can all fuck off.
Okay,
How's
next
that? How's
article. Yeah, man. I mean, it sounds like we're both actually weirdly in the same boat, except I don't care and quite like the royal family, and you don't care but don't like the royal family.
Yeah, pretty much. I think it's just another bit of awareness that, and it's nice for them because everyone's not talking about Andrew for a bit.
Yeah, that's a thing. And you know what? Even though I do like the idea of the royal family and everything like that, there is, of course, a massive bastardization of the institution because of the Prince Andrew stuff, and indeed this sort of stuff as well. They're supposed to be...
Charles being busy mates with Jimmy Savile as well. It's a good one, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. The thing is, like, they're supposed to be this sort of completely unattainable class, an image of what you should be, Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, it's an aspiration, isn't it?
Kind of.
That's what it is. Yeah.
And now, like, there's doubts about that. And when there's doubt, there's just like, oh, well, actually, that doesn't look like a good place to be in. Anyway, moving on. Actually, Ed, this is your article. Please, fire away.
Oh, God, I forgot about this. This is probably the first thing I fucking wrote in.
It was.
So this is technically from December. But I just... Right, okay, I'm going to read this. Right, imagine your phone goes off and it's from your dentist. From your doctors, sorry. So your phone goes off and you get a message from your doctor. And it goes, from the forwarded letters at CMP, blah, 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 has asked for you to do a DS-1500 for the above patient. Diagnosis, aggressive lung cancer with metastasis. Thanks. No reply text at nhs.net.
Okay.
Imagine that. Then you're there thinking, fuck me. What the hell? I only went in for, a blood test for...
Yeah.
Or whatever. Or I only wanted antibiotics. So you're panicking. And then, beep, beep, your phone goes off again. And it says, please accept our sincere apologies for the previous text message sent. This has been sent in error. Our message to you should have read, we wish you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. In case of emergency, please contact NHS 111.
I'd be phoning 111 and going, can I have some Xanax, please? I need to chill out for a second.
Exactly. This happened at a medical practice in Doncaster. They ended up sending completely the wrong text when all they wanted to do was wish people a Merry fucking Christmas on the 23rd of December. Unfortunately, that's the issue with having systems that can send out texts en masse, isn't it? And maybe not having the correct people operating them. To 8,000 patients who then, the day after Boxing Day, were constantly trying to ring and jammed up the doctor's phone lines. Great!
Oh, fuck, okay, yeah, I didn't see it. One thing I will say, I can't see it noted here how much time there is between the two texts. It says,
it does not say.
It doesn't say, and the times aren't in the screenshot.
Yeah.
I want to know if it was like, seconds, minutes, hours, days. It just says shortly, I think.
Yeah, I know. It's. I think it was the same day. It was the same day, but fucking hell, you'd still be. You'd still brick it, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
no. People were trying to ring up because this was the 23rd December.
Yeah.
The 24th was a Saturday, I think. So
yes, correct.
They couldn't get hold of their surgery until the day after Boxing Day, as I said. I think, was it? No, there was a bank holiday weekend. It was quite a fucking long one. So they had to wait days to get hold of them, and no one was answering.
Yeah.
Great.
I'd hate to be the person that sorts through those messages when you get back in the office.
A mess.
Moving on to the next one. Boris assassination, ? It's in the news today that Boris Johnson has said that Vladimir Putin basically threatened him. He said that Vladimir Putin claimed he could have sent a missile to hit Britain within a minute in a call shortly before the invasion of Ukraine. The thing is, I'm going to go ahead and say that Boris Johnson probably said that. And you know what? Maybe even Vlad said that as well. But the news... the news is blowing this out of proportion and saying it's a death threat.
Oh, they fucking are.
Yeah.
I even read this on BBC News and it felt like a fucking tabloid headline.
Yeah.
So I read that and it went, Boris Johnson says Putin threatened him with a missile strike. So that's the way it is. But then he tried to say it was during peace talks. And Johnson said, he threatened me at one point. He said, Boris, I don't want to hurt you, but with a missile, it would only take a minute. Or something like that. Jolly. But I think from the very relaxed tone he was taking, the sort of air of detachment he seemed to have, he was just playing along with my attempts to get him to negotiate. So basically, it's power control banter. Is the best way of explaining it. Yeah, it's a bit of bants, it's a bit of poker face.
Yeah.
Effectively. And but the way the headlines have done it, everyone's like, fuck me, oh my god. So yeah. I think it's a ridiculous. I don't know if it's a ridiculous thing for Boris Johnson to say, or if it's a ridiculous thing for the media to put out there. I think it's both. Personally, that's not the kind of thing, because this was a bit of, as awful as it sounds, it's a bit of to-ing and froing about a missile. Oh, jolly. But it's.
I would like to know for science. And just to clarify, I'm not insinuating hate. But for science, I would love to know if they could get a missile from Russia to Downing Street without any defensive stuff kicking off or anything like that, taking the missile out before it hit. Because you see all these rumours about the White House in America having all these anti-aircraft like things on top of it and all these sort of automatic defences and everything like that. I wonder. Surely there's got to be, hasn't there?
I want the top of it to open up like fucking Thunderbirds or something.
Yes. Okay. Ed, it's another one of yours. Toxvig and the church.
Yeah. Okay. So this one I quite like and hate at the same time. Sandy Toxvig. Whether you love her or hate her, you've got to admit she's done a lot for gay representation in the media. Possibly like one of the earliest out people who was like a television host for the BBC. Wonderful person. But there's a lot of stuff going on about with the Church of England and how. I'm trying to get this right. So yeah, basically it's about the church and how gay sex is a sin. And there's a lovely Twitter video that hopefully Mike can put in, if that's okay.
Hello there. Well, yesterday I went to have tea actually, with the Archbishop of Canterbury. Not a sentence I thought would ever come out of my mouth. We had agreed to such an unusual meeting following my public expression of distress last year when Justin, the Archbishop, reaffirmed the validity of a 1998 declaration by the Church that gay sex is a sin. Given the state of the world, I felt all the many bishops might have better things to talk about. Anyway, from our very calm and considered conversation yesterday, it is very clear that the State Church of England and the society it purports to represent are not remotely in step. Justin was keen for me to see that they are moving forward, but conceded that any progress, as I would see it, if it happens at all, will be glacial. It was very clear that opposing factions of the worldwide Anglican Communion are being in part held together at the expense of the human rights of the LGBT+ community. It's not okay, and I said so. I asked Justin if he could just come out. I don't mean make a surprise announcement about his sexuality, but come out as a gay ally. Basically, to come out for love. Love for all, without exceptions, and not the current Orwellian position where it would seem we are all created equal, but some are more equal than others. I hope that will happen, but I do not intend to wait upon the Church. In the next few weeks, I will be reaching out to the LGBT plus community and all our allies to see what can be done. The present position is untenable. In the meantime, please, let's all come out for love.
Basically, she's telling them that, you know, there are people who, you know, within the Church of England who are gay, and they will not come out as gay because it is a sin. And she's basically asking them just to come out for love, because, you know, that's what it is in the end of the day. And it's ridiculous that, once again, I understand why people have a religion, and I'm not going to ever knock anybody for their religious beliefs. But also, you know, there's respect, isn't there? And fair play to her. I mean, she is treating it, she understands that, you know, the respect of religious belief, but she's also pointing out the flaws in it, on how is love a sin.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I honestly, I'm not well versed in either subject, to be fair. What I will say is my views are that you should be able to literally love and consensually do whatever you want with whoever you want, regardless of, you know, whatever they've got going on downstairs or upstairs. Put your wee-wee where you want, put your foo-foo where you want. I don't really think... I guess the problem is... The problem is, because you can have gay marriage now, right? That's been a thing for ages, hasn't it?
Yeah, but not
in a church.
You can't have a religious ceremony. Okay. So you can be married, but you cannot have the religious ceremony part of a marriage in a church.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, it's.
I mean, I understand that there are probably some gay people that would like a religious ceremony, I guess. Is that the only thing to be won here?
Yeah, basically that's it. People who have faith, and it's their being able to come out as, you know, as who
because
they
there's
are.
oppression on those people from a young age.
I mean, yeah, and there are people higher up in the Church of England who are gay, but they will not say that they are gay because they're not allowed to be.
Okay. Even though stereotypically they're also nonces, right?
That's the other church.
Oh, sorry.
Let's not. Right, come on, moving on.
Misinformation. How are you? She's a good lass. Rishi Sunak wants all pupils to study maths to the age of 18. Yeah, I mean, that's fucking bullshit, isn't it? Simon Pegg did a video on that. That was good. That was probably the best thing to come out of the thing.
I thought it was shit.
Yeah. I mean, I think I learned enough maths in school, you know what I mean? Like adding, subtracting, multiplication, division, fractions. Those are all things I use fairly regularly. Algebra, no. That's the one that comes to mind immediately. I'm pretty sure there was more than just algebra that was useless. Either way, I'm confident that I can get through my life as I am equipped, as the millions of people, at least in the English educational system, have existed to get through the educational system up to this point without fizzing away and dying of brain rot because they didn't have an extra 2 years of maths going on. Yeah, I mean, as always, there are some extremists that have taken this fuck off, Rishi, and they've gone so far as to say this is oppression and trying to get them to turn us into computers so we could just do more number crunching for the machine, man. Like, chill out. It's not that bad. But, Ed's looking at me like it's that bad.
No, and I agree with you to that point where everyone jumps up and down and go, "I can't believe you fucking said that wrong." You know, it's like you take one little thing that you said and then it becomes a big thing in the fucking news.
Yeah.
Let's focus on what he has actually put in place, not something he's just briefly mentioned that he would like to put in place.
Exactly.
it's not going to fucking happen. It'd be fucking ridiculous. I
Yeah.
agree. To a point where, as long as you can count the change in your pocket, but actually,
Yeah.
I've got none. So
Yeah.
I'm sorted. But there are so many different things out there that people, basically, to the age of 18, like you get that point where you leave school, and then the age of 18, you should then be able to focus on what you feel that your best qualities are, and go that way. There are people out there who struggle seriously with maths, and they, you know, it's that's because of their capacity to learn that subject, and I don't see why they should keep struggling for another 2 years when they could be learning other things that they can do to benefit themselves and others. So it's stupid.
And
People taking it out of proportion.
I'm going to go ahead, and I feel like you touched on it there as well, and just finish this off by saying you're absolutely right. There are people out there that find it hard to process numbers generally, but also there's like people that are dyslexic and dyspraxic and things like this, that you're literally singling them out. These people, those dyslexic, dyspraxic people, have minds that are so good at other things. Creative stuff, arts, music, video game development, story writing, and you're gonna put them in this box and waste their time and the country's money forcing them to do something which is fucking useless to start off with, or at least beyond what is compulsory already. I think that's ridiculous. You know what else is ridiculous, Ed? Not wearing a seatbelt in the back of a car whilst you're doing a live broadcast on Twitter.
Oh, well, imagine that. You wouldn't do such a fucking thing, would you?
Don't worry, here's a quick clip of Rishi not wearing a seatbelt in a car.
One of my New Year's promises to you was to grow the economy.
Okay, so, yeah, he's not wearing a seatbelt. Supposedly, he's actually been done as well.
Oh, fucking hell.
He's been done. Rishi.
Oh, classic Sunak.
Yeah. He's, yeah, let me just get the facts on this, because I was over the ruddy moon. Passengers caught failing to wear a seatbelt when one is available can be fined £100. This can increase to £500 if the cases go to court. Ed, can you beatbox while I just have a quick browse, please?
Mike's having a search. Mike's searching now. Mike's doing a search, having a search right now. Sunak had his seatbelt off, but what happened next? Did he get a little finer slap on the wrist?
Okay, following the circulation of a video on social media showing an individual failing to wear a seatbelt while a passenger in a moving car in Lancashire, we have today, Friday, January 20th, issued a 42-year-old man from London with a conditional offer of fixed penalty. That's not a yes. That's not a no. That's a no, isn't it? Is he 42?
Basically, set a fucking example. Fucking hell. Right.
Cool. Right. And that is the news done. We're going into the odds and sods, Ed. Oh, just a couple of items for you today, Edward. What buying/selling platforms do you use?
You mean like pre-owned or?
By this, I mean, if you were going to buy, I don't know, new DualShock 4 controller, where would you go to look for that?
What, brand new?
Sure.
Brand new, probably the first place I'd go is Amazon.
Second hand?
Facebook Marketplace. I normally go there because I want to find somewhere close and I can pick it up straight away because I'm impatient. I don't want to wait up for eBay prices and things.
Yeah. So you don't use eBay much at all then, really, if you use Amazon for new and Facebook for second hand. But that's a tech product, isn't it? So
yeah, I use Amazon because the household's got Prime, and that means I can probably get it the next day or today by 10 p.m. And I use Facebook Marketplace because I don't have to fucking wait. Yeah. I'm impatient.
Okay. So what about if you were selling something?
Once again, Facebook Marketplace. It's easier. normally, because a lot of the time you can avoid having to post something. Someone just comes along, picks it up.
What about if the thing that you had was worth something? So it was like a rare game that was worth a couple £100.
Yeah, I'd probably use eBay.
Okay. And with that, you then pay 10% to eBay, but expose a wider audience, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My thoughts pretty much exactly, except not at all. Actually, that was a lie. I don't use Amazon at all. I don't want to give.
Right.
I don't want to give Jeff Bezos my Pezos.
Okay.
It's just a thing, man. I've used it twice in my life. Both times the order's just fucking gone wrong. I find that the website, the way that you organize and set up your like settings and everything is just unintuitive. It looks bland. There's no dark mode. You know, there's these sort of things.
Yeah.
But
do you know what annoys me about it now? What annoys me about it now is the reason I used to do it is because I go, at least I won't get those fake, cheap, Chinese knockoff stuff on Amazon. I'm not using eBay, but it's all over fucking Amazon now.
Yeah.
And people use the same listing for their product, and they change the product over and over again. So it looks like you get a 5-star review for the item, but they've just replaced the item on top of it. They've renamed it, changed the labeling. If you go through the reviews, like you're looking at, say, a lamp, and you go, and everyone, you're thinking, oh, that was going to be good. And then you scroll down, and it's people who actually bought a bag of paper clips.
Oh shit! Okay, sorry. I thought you meant like they have a DualShock 4 controller, they get the stuff for that, and then they replace the ad with the fake DS4 one. But it's even more stupid than that.
Yeah, they recycle their listings.
Okay, I mean, I use eBay almost for everything. I will definitely go there at least first, initially, for car parts. But this being said, I don't buy necessarily cheap stuff from eBay. You are right, it does almost have a bit of a buzzword, doesn't it, eBay? Oh God, you're going to get something over, well, that's going to be cheap, tacky, it's going to be shit. Obviously, we all know now there's just as much stuff on eBay that's branded as not. Depends on what field you're looking for. These cheap, shitty fucking earphones that we almost did a video on are from eBay. They're actually quite good. But I use eBay for a lot of stuff. I use Facebook Marketplace rather exactly the same as you. If I'm selling something of little value or whatever, for instance, my old soundbar, my old TV, I don't want to be boxing them up. They can just go on Facebook Marketplace. Someone can pay 50 to 100 quid or whatever. That's fine. I can deliver it locally. I can collect locally. That's great. If I'm selling a very rare Master System game, then yeah, I'm probably going to go to eBay to sell. Same reason as you. I bring this up because there's another option, and it's today's sponsor. No, I'm joking, it's not. It's a website called Vinted.
I heard of this. Never used it, never seen it, but I recognise the name.
No. Well, I hadn't paid attention to it before because they, I think initially at least, only did clothing.
That's right, yeah.
But they now do not as much scope as Amazon and everything like that. Of course, this is secondhand only. But basically, the reason and the way that this falls in, the gap that this falls in and its existence, and the reason why I'm even mentioning it now, is because if I wanted to sell this copy of Test Drive Unlimited 2, can put it on Facebook Marketplace for a £5, wait for someone to beat me down over and over again until they give me a quid for it, and then come over, scope my house out and rob me afterwards, which is exactly perfect. I can put it on eBay for a £5, someone buys it, and then I give eBay half of the money and then have to fucking pay for postage, sort everything out. On Vinted, you list your item and you put it in a box, and then you take it to your local designated post office or newsagents or anything like that. The buyer does all the postage and everything like that their end. So
it's like a Collect Plus type thing.
Maybe, I don't know what that means.
Yeah, okay, nice.
But that means that you can sell all these little things and all this stuff that you've got hanging around, and it means you can just take it to your local Spar shop or whatever shop's closest to you. You'll get a prepaid to go on your package, all you need to do is wang it in there, and then everything else is covered. Which is... it opened up a part of my brain that was like, well, that's really great, because I've got so many PS2 games that I just know I'm never going to play. And not just PS2 games, there's others as well. And they're worth, minimal money, but I can't sell them on Facebook because there's not collectors, there's not really retro gamers. Any retro gamers there are local already have a load of fucking PS2 games. I sell it on eBay, they're only worth a couple of quid, and it's not worth my time running around to post offices and stuff and paying postage for them. So this seemed like a pretty good alternative.
Yeah, I like this. I noticed you've got the option for buyer protection. I mean, why would you never want it? I guess, you pay a percentage of the item price for the buyer protection fee.
Yeah.
I mean, that's worth looking. Yeah, that's especially because if it's protected, that's the problem with Facebook fucking Marketplace. If I use Facebook Marketplace, the reason I do local collections and stuff like that is because I'm never going to post on it, and I'm never going to ask someone to post something.
I mean, let's pour some out for our homie Coop, who recently got diddled and also got swindled on Facebook Marketplace. Went to buy a AMD processor from someone up north of him. They basically just sold him a lie, as from what I can tell. Took his money, paid via PayPal. They never sent it, deleted their profile and everything.
Friends and family on PayPal, so he had no protection.
No protection, nothing. And he paid using some of his bonus that he got from work for Christmas. And that's pretty much all gone.
It's easy for people to say, "Oh, come on, you should know better than that." But we've all done something stupid at spur of the moment because we think we found something like a great bargain or something.
Yeah,
we've been there, and so it's just a shit situation.
So there you go, everyone. Vinted exists. Check it out. It might suit you in getting rid and shifting not only some of that stuff and giving someone else the joy of using it, but also it could, it could get you some extra shillings in your pocket as well. Nothing wrong with that, especially in these troubling times. Okay, now let's get down to the real brass tacks, Ed.
Mm-hmm.
Would you rather be a dolphin or a tiger?
I don't like fish.
What, as in eating fish?
Yeah, I don't like eating fish. It's annoying because I'd like to be a dolphin. Like, dolphins, do they hold their breath? They do hold their breath, don't they?
Well, they
can't go very deep.
I don't know. Does a dolphin hold its breath, or does it naturally just take that long to breathe in and out?
I should know this. At my age,
Why should you know this?
Rishi, you're teaching us wrong. We should learn about dolphins, not maths.
Do tigers hold their breaths?
Can they breathe underwater? I can't believe I'm doing this.
No, sorry, I know they can't breathe underwater.
Yeah, exactly. So they can't because they don't have gills.
So
right, that's what I'm checking. Because if I'd like to be an underwater creature that lives there.
Sorry, just to clarify, everyone listening, I wasn't questioning whether a dolphin's a fish or a mammal. I was... Ed was, because he's stupid as fuck.
No, but the way you said it then, I got really confused. Go on, carry on.
No, I mean, obviously they hold their breath now, you think about it, but like I didn't...
Yeah.
Like we just breathe in and out. We're breathing in and out, we're living. Do they... You said hold their breath, like they go...
They have a lung capacity. They have a high lung capacity.
But do you reckon they actively like... Okay, let's go. Or do you reckon...
That's why they make that sound.
I think it's... Yeah, they definitely hold their breath, but they do it for probably so long, and they do it so frequently that it's like breathing to them.
You know what? Fuck that. It sounds different. That sounds awful. I'll have to be the tiger then, I guess.
Tiger? Yeah, can tigers swim?
I think they can.
Google it.
All right. Fucking hell. Rishi. Okay, Rishi.
As soon as you said it, I know.
Can tigers swim? They are strong swimmers.
So they're dolphins. So. Okay, so I'll change this from would you rather be a dolphin or a tiger to how much of a tiger do you want to be?
How tiger are you?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I would actually, initially, my thought was dolphin. It'd be so cool to swim so quickly. You've got loads of companions around you. Very clever animal, not short on food. All that sort of lovely stuff. You don't necessarily need to hunt. You just sort of swim into fish, probably. But as a personal fear of mine, and something I don't like is swimming. So I think it would be very irrational. I'm talking as someone who gets very stressed out when you do those levels on the original Tomb Raider where you have to hold your breath underwater. I don't think. Now we've had our little chat about do they hold their breath or not.
I don't think I'm aggressive enough to be a tiger, but they're big cats, aren't they? And I think cats are great. They just fuck about, don't they? It seems like a lot of effort to be a dolphin, really.
I mean, if you're a tiger amongst tigers, I feel like you would probably just be a big cat.
I'll be a tiger.
So we're both tigers.
Yeah, and I'd sell cereal.
Great!
What have we learnt from this? We've learnt that we know fuck all about animals.
Yeah, dolphins are shit. Thank you very much for watching and or listening, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed what is the monthly Hot Pockets. We will be doing these the beginning Wednesday of each month. It just so happens that this one is on the 1st. How cool is that? Next week we'll have either a gaming video for you or a pocket topic, sorry.
There we go.
And the week after that, it's the return of Wheel Wars, except it's called Son of a Pitch. Who's our guest? Should we say who our guest is?
Yeah, we can do. It's Neil off of that Bite My Thumb television.
Indeed. Really good recording it, and I'm looking forward to you guys listening to it. We will see you there. We won't, but yeah. All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Like and subscribe.
That was a good one.